For the last 4 years, they've been Rebels and Bulldogs. Now some star football players are waiting to see what jerseys they'll wear next.
NFL Draft Day is here. Tom has more on the athletes' anticipation coming up in sports.
WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. A Valentine's Day stabbing involving her future husband lands a Lowndes County woman in prison.
Charity Harkins was sentenced to 20 years this week in circuit court. She pleaded guilty to aggravated assault in February. Harkins was originally charged with attempted murder. Lowndes County deputies were called to a house on Highway 69 in February of last year. Blood was found inside and outside the house. The victim was cut in the abdomen. In separate incidents, Harkins was charged with other domestic violence counts. District Attorney Scott Colomb says the victim and his mother testified they wanted Harkins given the minimum sentence in the aggravated assault plea deal.
Two men accused of taking the Stars and Stripes could soon be wearing a different set of stripes behind bars. The United States flag was taken from East Webster High School. In the surveillance video, you can see a Chevrolet Avalanche with two older white men pull up to the school. The 15-foot by 25-foot was taken on April 19th, just after 6:30 p.m. If you recognize the men or the vehicle, call the Webster County Sheriff's Office.
Monroe County deputies bust what they think is a family burglary ring. Lonnie Brown, Christopher Brown, Cody Brown, and Jessica Corona all face breaking and entering charges as well as petite larceny. Monroe County Sheriff Cecil Cantrell says the family of four was caught burglarizing a storage shed at the home in the Greenwood Springs community. Investigators say the homeowner called the sheriff's office after spotting the four in the shed. Deputies were on the scene before the alleged burglars could leave. Cantrell believes they are behind other recent burglaries in the area. They're being held in the Monroe County Jail.
A Lowndes County driver crashes into a utility pole this afternoon. The Ford pickup left Oswalt Road and collided with the pole. Ford County Electric customers did lose power while crews installed a new pole. It did not appear that the driver was injured in the accident. Lowndes County deputies are investigating that crash. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, who joins us with a first look at our forecast. Keith?
Well, Joey, right now we have temperatures stuck in the mid-60s. We have a lot of cloud cover across our region, a little band of showers across the central part of our area from near Louisville through Starkville up to just to the southeast of Tupelo. A stronger batch of thunder showers here, Water Valley, Coffeyville, Grenada, some downpours with that. We avoided the severe weather today in our area. A lot of this will be fizzling as we go throughout the evening hours. Still a chance to get a weather radio programmed. We're in Starkville for the next couple of minutes. Let's go there live for a look.
Keith, yeah, thank you so much. We are here in Oktibbeha County at the Starkville Kroger programming weather radios. This is a Midland weather radio that's for sale here at the Kroger. They're on sale for $29.99 today. We're going to be here till 6:30. These weather radios will be for sale here for the foreseeable future, though. And again, you go if you are able to get here and buy one before 6:30, or really until the last person here is happy, we'll get it programmed for you and get you set up. And again, you can see we're out here programming these weather radios right now. In fact, Keith, we've got your cutout here back behind me as well, advertising these weather radios. Again, we have some active weather here. Less than 2 weeks ago, some tornadoes went through Oktibbeha County, so we want to make sure that you have a way to get warnings. Television's great, but sometimes you're asleep, you need that extra warning. These weather radios are a fantastic tool for that. So we're going to be out here till 6:30 programming these things. So if you get the opportunity, come on out and see both me and meteorologist Jacob Dickey. We'll get you set up with the weather radio. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
He was waving in the background. All right, well, this weekend marks 5 years since an EF3 tornado touched down in parts of northeast Mississippi. Tupelo took a direct hit. Since then, the school district has had a goal to have a FEMA-grade storm shelter at each campus.
Our Allie Martin got a tour of the soon-to-be-completed shelter and gym at the high school.
Each day, about 40 people are working on the FEMA-approved safe room and gym at Tupelo High School. The FEMA-grade storm shelter will be the largest of its kind in the entire state. Plans were developed for the shelter and others throughout the district after a tornado hit Tupelo April 28, 2014. Principal Art Dobbs remembers where he was that day.
I was actually an assistant principal here, and we dismissed early that day, and that day still is in the back of my head.
Once it is opened, the dome-shaped building will be able to provide safe shelter for all 2,400 high school students, faculty, and staff. This video shows the dome being raised this past summer. The dome and entire building are reinforced with rebar. The $6 million project was funded primarily through FEMA and MEMA grants. The building will also be used for sporting events such as basketball, volleyball, as well as band concerts and other community events.
Just proud to have it on our campus. It's with the biggest high school in the state, you know, and this reflects another plus for Tupelo High School and Tupelo Public School District.
The safe room and gym is set to open this summer. Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The current THS gym will continue to be used by the athletic department and for other smaller events.
Well, it's not November, but in Starkville it is election time. In just over a month, voters will be lining up to cast an important ballot.
But getting those voters out can be a challenge. Our Riley Livingston joins us live in the studio with what the city is doing to help get people to the polls. Riley?
Yard signs, social media, and good old-fashioned pavement pounding. Mayor Lynn Sproul says she is using every avenue to get the word out about the special election.
The Starkville 1% restaurant and hotel tax is one step closer to going into effect. Not only that, the Ward 5 seat on the Board of Aldermen is empty. These sound like important issues, but it can still be a challenge to get people to take notice and take to the polls.
Well, it is going to be tough, and in particular for the referendum. It's a 60% requirement, so that is a high hurdle for us to meet.
In addition to the traditional yard signs, Mayor Sproul is turning to new ways to get the word out.
I also spend time on social media trying to make people understand what we're trying to do with this. So I'm trying to get out there and tell people via social media, whether it's Facebook or it's Twitter or just, word of mouth. Because I spend a lot of time on the streets, I spend a lot of time in the parks. I'm going to start doing a podcast for the city because I think that's a cool thing and a new way to get information out, and just general information from a city perspective. But in this case, this is an opportunity to talk about the referendum and what it means.
Creating a podcast means appealing to young adults.
Now, I got to get those young people out to vote, because that's one of the things that's going to be a problem, is they've got to understand that voting matters. The presidential election is important, and it makes you feel like, you're participating, but when the rubber hits the road, it's going to be in your local elections, and this is one of those.
But is that motivation enough to get voters, especially young voters, to the polls?
I don't know, but we've got to do it at least one person at a time, and every time I talk to a college group, that's one of the things I say is, how very critical it is for you to get out and cast your vote.
The special election is on Thursday, May 30th. The last day to vote absentee is Friday, May 10th.
Coming up, some area students are being recognized for overcoming the odds.
We take a look at how these aces are being honored.
Welcome back. It was a day to serve those who served at the American Legion Post in Columbus. The Center for America's Veterans hosted a town hall and resource fair. This was a one-stop shop for local vets to find information on benefits and services that are available to them. They were also able to ask questions and voice their concerns during a town hall session.
We like to bring these resources to them. So whether they're a business owner or a veteran trying to navigate and file a claim, file an appeal to get their additional benefits, or just to figure out what's available to me, this brings those sources to them.
The Veterans Affairs Medical Center, the VA benefits claims, and the Mississippi VA office were just some of the booths set up today at the town hall.
Hard work pays off for some Lowndes County students. Today, the Columbus Exchange Club presents the Accepting the Challenge of Excellence and Youth Awards, or the ACE Awards. They honor those who have excelled in spite of challenges throughout high school. Vice President Jerry Fortenberry says he hopes the students feel accomplished.
Well, I think it would mean a whole lot. I know it would to me to be able to be recognized for your efforts, because anytime you put out extreme efforts, and we are talking, to be the best, be chosen as the best in your school is pretty much that's a heavy award.
18 awards were given out.
Raining pretty good in downtown Louisville, Mississippi. That's a live view with our exclusive Sky Cam, our Altitude Camera Network right there. We do have some showers out there now. Temperatures in the 60s. A lot of that goes away this evening. 50s for lows tonight. The sun returns tomorrow. We'll talk about your weekend forecast next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
A lot of you in Vernon, Alabama at Durham's Pharmacy, 617. We've had some wet weather today. Right now, the shower's staying away, but you still could see a little bit of rain. We do have some overcast conditions in downtown Columbus, and let's check out where the rain is falling. Louisville, a nice downpour for you right now, stretching back up towards Starkville. We have some good downpours, not really a lot of thunder and lightning in this right now, but some heavier downpours near Aberdeen, Amory, Smithville. Back to the west, some gusty wind perhaps, and some heavy downpours in Coffeyville right now. Water Valley, you can see this band of showers. We had some lightning earlier. That lightning seems to be falling apart, but if nothing else, some pretty good downpours in Grenada right now. That stretches just west of Winona. That is moving east, so we're going to have a little bit of that as we go throughout the next couple of hours. One band here, the second band back to our west, and then a few more showers in Arkansas. All of this will pivot this evening, but as we get into the evening and overnight, once we lose the daytime heating, we'll tend to lose a lot of the activity. Right now, we've got 60s in most spots, where we did squeeze out a little bit more sun this afternoon, around 70 along I-55. Down into the mid to upper 50s tonight. Some showers and clouds will linger. And for your Friday, we may see some clouds initially, but then we are back into the sunshine, a mostly sunny day. A bit breezy, though. Winds from the northwest at 10 to 20, 74 in Tupelo and Bruce, 72 for you in Pontotoc, give or take. For you in Columbus, 75. How about 74 in Starkville, 74 in Ackerman, 75 in Macon? And for you in Western Alabama, 76 or so in Reform, 75 in Sulligent. Winds from the northwest at about 10 to 20 as well. We have some showers and even a few thunder showers right now. A front is moving on through. The front moves through, we lose the daytime heating, a lot of the activity goes away. But there could be some cloudiness in the morning when you wake up, but don't be alarmed. We'll get rid of that. A pretty nice day overall. Winds from the northwest will dry things out. It was a bit of a soaker in some spots today. As we get into your Saturday, fair weather is expected. That front right there will come on in sometime late Saturday night. Sunday, stall out and then lift back to the north. That could give rise to a few showers around here. We're just going to go with about a 20% chance of rain on Sunday. We will have a cool start to your Saturday, 47 degrees, 80 Saturday, 77 Sunday. Overall, a decent weekend for us. Early summer-like temperatures Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, low to mid, maybe upper 80s in some spots, with another chance for some rain and storms by late Wednesday into Thursday.
Plenty of Mississippi talent hoping to begin their professional careers. A.J. Brown's throwing a party in Oxford. We're there live when we come back.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Happy NFL Draft Day. In just a few hours, talent from around the Magnolia State will begin to learn whether or not a professional career will begin for them. One of those waiting, Ole Miss wide receiver A.J. Brown. Here's a look in at Brown's watch party being held at a hotel in Oxford. At the Combine, Brown recorded a 4.49 second 40-yard dash, 19 reps pressing the bench, a 36.5 vertical, and a 120-inch broad jump. The Starkville native served as a huge replacement this past season for wide receiver DK Metcalf after suffering from injury. Brown is just one of 3 Ole Miss Rebels anticipated at potentially being selected in the first round, including Metcalf and offensive lineman Greg Little. Ole Miss not the only ones in the state with possible first-rounders. Mississippi State currently projected as having 4 potential first-round selections: safety Jonathan Abram, defensive end Montez Sweat, center Elton Jenkins, and defensive lineman Jeffrey Simmons. Montez Sweat anticipated to go first out of the bunch of the Bulldogs, and we could see even more going in the second and third rounds. But in terms of the first round, here is everything you need to know before tonight. The first round begins at 7 p.m. It's available on ABC, ESPN, and the NFL Network if you're looking to tune in. DK Metcalf, the only player from the state currently in Nashville, Tennessee, whereas A.J. Brown opted to see, as we just saw, wait in Oxford and find out. Join us here on WCBI Sports at 10 tonight for reaction from day 1 of the draft. Only the greats are able to accomplish feats such as three-peats. For example, Michael Jordan. And Mississippi State's Nuno Borges gets to include himself in the greats column. Borges earns his 3rd SEC Player of the Year honor after securing the SEC tournament title. The Bulldogs also his 2nd straight conference with them. Borges and MSU now wait to find out its seeding for the NCAA team championship. That will be on Monday at 5 p.m. Baseball getting a jump start this evening at the weekend. Ole Miss begins its 3-game series against Texas A&M in Oxford. Ole Miss coming off of 2 consecutive losses, one against Auburn last week and one from Mississippi State on Tuesday. A late game at 8 p.m. on the SEC Network. State gets back to action on Friday in Starkville, hosting the leader in the SEC East. It's going to be Georgia. Mississippi State snapping its 3-game losing streak with the 8-1 win over Ole Miss in the Governor's Cup. Hopefully the momentum needed for some wins over the Bulldogs. The Battle of the Bulldogs begins at 6:30 p.m. That's going to be available for streaming on the SEC Network streaming service. One Starkville Yellow Jacket is keeping his hooping dreams alive. Starkville's Tyler Talley signed to play college basketball with Holmes Community College. The sharpshooter averaged 14 points per game for the state champion Yellow Jackets. His head coach Greg Carter says there isn't a shot Tyler doesn't like, and Talley says confidence is the key.
I just felt like that was the right decision for me. I just felt like he was knew my play style better, and that's all. He was a good coach to me. I think confidence is gonna play a big part because without confidence, you're not a good basketball player. Without confidence, it's just you just shooting shots just to shoot it. So the confidence is gonna play a big part.
That's it for sports. Your last look is coming up after the break.
We have some showers out there, some localized downpours, a little bit of thunder and lightning out there, but a lot of this activity will dwindle as we go throughout the evening and overnight. We should see a lot of sun tomorrow, breezy but nice, 75 degrees. A great start to the weekend too. Saturday, 80 or so, partly cloudy.
I tell you, I wanted to go home and go to bed today. The rain just...
And I'll be honest, I didn't even want to drive into work with the rain, but we're here.
Hey, but tomorrow, sunny and 75.
Oh, it's looking great.
You can't beat it. And